Okay, guys. Now, yesterday we had started with one question, and I had told you to do that at your end. I hope many of you would have tried. Uh, if you have done it, and if you have got some answer, can you just share it in your chat box, or the query or a doubt related to that question? You may ask it to me further. Anyway, I'm going to solve that question, but I just want to see that how many of you have done it. Anyone? No one has done it? Okay, fine, no worries. We'll be solving it over here today. And there is one problem related to this Google Meet, but I don't know what the problem is. Whenever I try to log to to get in from the Google Classroom, no, that recording option is not available to me. What could be potential reason for it? I don't know, but I am supposed to share a different Google Meet every point of time, because that recording option is not available to me over there. There would be some technical glitch. I'll look into that matter. Anyway, sharing my screen with all of you, let's move ahead with that question. Mr. Mohit had tried, but answer may be wrong. You may just share your answer, Mohit. You are allowed to make the mistakes. Even I make the mistakes. Oh, true. Someone joins before me, so that's why recording will not take place. Anyway, that happens quite a lot number of times. Let's move ahead. So we were there into the deferred annuity, and we would be solving this question now. Mr. Funsuk Wangdu, a Rancho, has taken the educational loan to finance his PhD study from the Marwadi University. He also paid the down payment of 20% of his total fees. Okay. He will start paying the installment amount 15,000 rupees on a monthly basis at the end of each month, starting from the third month of third year from now. He will pay 20 installments in total. The rate of interest is 11% per annum charged monthly. You are required to find the amount of loan taken by him, amount of down payment paid in cash, and the total fees paid by him. Let's try to understand the question well. So, my friends, the entire fees is bifurcated into two parts. One is the down payment, another one is the loan taken by Mr. Rancho. Now, down payment is 20% of his fees. So, obviously, 80% of the fees would be sponsored by the loan. Now, we would be finding that what is the loan taken by Mr. Rancho, but the loan is not, the installment payment of the loan is not immediately started. It will, the installment payment would be done after some point of time. So it will start at what point of time? Let's try to read that question well. He will start paying the installment amount of 15,000 rupees on a monthly basis at the end of each month, starting from the third month of third year from now. So installments are on a monthly basis. So let's look at the timeline of the loan. So once we'll find the amount of loan, then everything would be found by using the cross multiplications. So this is how the timeline is looking like. Now there is a 1 year elapsed, 2 year elapsed, 3 year elapsed. Third month of third year. Okay, so we are into the 3 years now. Third year. So 1 year has completed over here, second is completed here, and third is completed here. We are into, yes, we are into third month of the third year. So, sir, we will be making the installment payment not in the first month of the third year. This is the third year. Even in the second month, we will not pay. But in the third month, we will pay something. Now that is paid at the end of the month. So obviously for 3 months interest would also be charged. So this is the time period for which no installments would be paid. This is the time period for which no installments will be paid. After that, once the third month of third year is over, so after that, there would be 20 installments of 15,000. Now, this is the typical case of the education loan, because during your education, you may not be able to pay the loan amount back. So, after some number of years, your installments will start. But obviously, the interest would be charged for this period, the 2 years and 3 months which are elapsed. For that, you will have to pay the interest as well. No, we are into a third year. So, basically, 2 years are gone and 3 months are passed for the third year. Why 3 months? Because that is paid at the end of the third year. You may check it. See, starting from the third month of the third year. And in the third month, when it was paid? At the end of each month. So third year's third month, and in the end of the third year's third month, it was paid. So for the third month as well, the interest is to be charged. And after that, the remaining installments will take place. So again, installments are not paid for this particular period. This period is regarded as the deferred period, deferment period. So we'll be using the formula of deferred annuity to find the loan amount. You people are aware about that formula? Let's go and use that formula again. PV equal to, so I'm using the word loan here so that you do not get confused, because it is not the entire fees. I divided by R in bracket 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to M minus 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to M plus N. So, sir, I stands for the installment amount, that is going to be 15,000. R stands for the rate of return. The compounding and the installment would be paid on the monthly basis, my friends. So, we'll have to convert this rate into a monthly basis. What is the total rate we have got of the interest? 11 percentage. So 11 percentage needs to be divided by 12. So I'm just writing 0.11 to be divided by 12. Can someone tell me the interest rate here? So that comes at 0.0091. 0.009167. I'm taking it entirely, chalo. So that will get the most accurate answer. You are just supposed to take it up to the 4 digits after decimal, but I'm taking it entirely. In bracket, Really sorry, guys, got disconnected because of some poor connectivity issues. I'm there at the Marward University and using the LAN of it still, it's not working properly. Anyway, I'm sharing my screen again. So can someone tell me up to what point of time you could hear me from this?
Sir, you have completed finding R.
Okay. Thank you so much. Just sharing the screen again. It's taking some time. Good. The screen sharing has been started. Okay. So I guess you couldn't see that. I'll be doing it again. No worries. Fine. So see, this much of the things were done by me. Anyway. So 0.11 divided by 12. So we will have got the I stands for the installment amount, sir. That is gonna be 15,000 to be divided by R. R was found by us 0.009167 in the big bracket 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to M. So 1.009167 raised to M stands for the number of deferment periods, but you need to convert the deferment periods into number of months because your entire calculation is done based on number of months, right? So, sir, what is the deferment period? 2 years and 3 months. You are making the first installment at the end of the third month of the third year. So, if you are making the payment at the third month's end, that means for the third month too, the interest should be charged. So, your deferment period is basically 2 years and 3 months, for which only the interest would be charged and no installment would be paid by you. So that's 27 months. So M would be 27. That is the period of deferment. Minus 1 divided by 1.009167 raised to M plus N, right? So 27 plus N would be the number of periods of compounding. How many number of installments you are actually paying? That is the annuity, right? So N stands for the number of periods in an annuity. You will be making the 20 installments of 15,000. So I'm just writing N as 10, closing the bracket. So I'm just solving this first one. I have got the answer 1636,304. Please cross verify the answer of the first discounting factor equal to 1 divided by 1.009167 raised to 27. So that comes at 0.7816 minus, let me do it for 47 times now. That comes at 0.6512. Please cross verify the answer. Are you getting the same discounting factors, all of you? You may convey it through the chat box, please. If you're getting the different answer, then let me know.
Yes, sir, it's correct.
Very good. Let's move ahead. So equal to 1636,304. You just get the answer in the bracket over here equal to 0.7816 minus 0.6512. So we get 0.1314. So that will be multiplied with this amount. So that would be the amount of loan. Please put it in the back of your mind, my friends. That is the amount of loan. हमारी अधूरी Kahani equal to 1636 P04 multiplied by 0.1304. So, sir, the amount of loan is 212,070 rupees. But sir, the question is not over because the fees is bifurcated into two parts. One is the down payment, another one is the amount of loan. So this is my total fees, 100, 20 percentage is DP, 80 percentage is loan, and the loan amount we have got by using the deferred annuity formula 212070. So now it is बच्चों का खेल. कौन सा खेल? बच्चों का खेल. Because from 80 you can find 20, you can also find 100 by using just simple cross multiplication. So if 80 equal to 212070, then 100 equal to what and 20 equal to what? Just do the cross multiplication and let me know. So for the first one, you will get 212070 multiplied by 100 divided by 80. And for the second one, you will get 212070 multiplied by 20 divided by 80. So what is the total fees we have got? May I have the answers from the students, please? Why there is a too much of difference coming in Urja and Harsh answer? Please check it out, guys. टू वन टू किसी के ऊपर भरोसा करने के लायक रहा ही नहीं है. सर का फिर पोपट हो जाता है सबके सामने. 100 divided by 80. So we have got 2265. फिर आप लोग को तो मेरे को आंसर देके निकल जाना है, लेकिन पोपट किसका हो जाता है? सर का. वो भी वीडियो अपलोड होते हैं तो सर का पोपट हर कोई देखता है बाहर. 265,080, 7.5. And sir, basically the difference between this 100 and 80 is the down payment, right? So Mr. Rancho will have to pay 265,087.5 to be precise as the fees for pursuing the PhD study from the Marwadi University. May I have the confirmation from all the students that you have got everything? Sir, 50 rupees difference is there. That's fine. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Miss Priska.
Sir, I have a question here. Like in the number of period N, there was 20 installments. Why we did not multiply by 12 at the number of months? Because he was paying per month. Why we did not multiply by 12? And also, how did we get this 27?
So how did I get the number of periods first of all? Is it the right question? Have I understood it well?
Yes, sir. 20. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So Miss Priska, if we read the question, so it's given to us that he will pay 20 installments in total. So 20 installments are basically monthly installments. Why? Because it's been given to you over here that he will start paying the installment amount of 15,000 rupees on a monthly basis. So 20 is basically number of months only to given to you, right? For which the loan would be paid in installments. Before that, there is a deferment period coming that is to be calculated again in number of months. Now the deferment period, Miss Priska, is 2 years and 3 months. How did we identify 2 years and 3 months? That is again given to us in the question. That sir, he will start paying the installment amount of 15,000 on a monthly basis at the end of each month, starting from the third month of the third year. Now, in the third month of the third year, he would be making the payment at the end of the month. So third month of the third year will also be taken into the deferment period, because on that too, the interest would be charged. Because you are making the payment at the end of the third month, no? In the third year. So for that particular month too, you are supposed to pay the interest. So basically, 2 years and 3 months. So 2 years would be 24 months and 3 months added. So 27 is taken as the deferment period, which is my M. And M plus N would be 47. Is it clear, Ms. Priska, and to all the students?
Yes, sir, I've got you, but I was asking about this 20. We are not multiplying with 12 months. This 20 does not count monthly basis. It was just 20 installment and not a monthly basis.
That's what I'm saying, Ms. Priska. So it's given to you over here. See, 15,000 rupees of installment on a monthly basis. Check it out here. I'm circling this point. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. So I thought that we multiply this 20 installment with 12. That's why.
Right, exactly. So that's why we have taken 20. Good. Okay, so that's the end of the annuity part. Few practice questions would be given to you straight away right today.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, that question, जीने नहीं दूंगा, interest is remaining still.
जीने नहीं दूंगा. Okay, fine. Let's go. Seriously, जीने नहीं दे रहा ये question. So in last question, we had done that question entirely, but one small portion was remaining to be done, and that was the interest on loan. Now we had found the size of each installment, right? Can someone just tell me what was the size of each installment we had got in that question?
Sir, it is 2016.581.
2016.581. Okay. So now basically, how do you find the interest? Is that, see, you will be multiplying the number of installments with the amount of installment. That would be the total amount paid by you, right? Yes or no? So he has taken the loan of $30,000, and let's see that how much total amount would be paid by him. So total amount paid would be the amount of installment multiplied by the number of installments. Would be how many number of installments? 10 years, and half yearly installments are made, you know, at the end of 6 months for 10 years. So installments would be 20. So if you multiply 20, you will get some answers. So how much we get? Let's see that. Equal to 2016.581 multiplied by 20. So we have got 40,331.62. Now that is the total amount paid by Mr. Jeene Nahi Dunga. And the loan that was sanctioned to him was 30,000. So difference is basically the interest amount. So interest equal to 4331.62 minus 30,000. So that is the interest paid by Mr. Jeene Nahi Dunga on this loan. May I have the confirmation from the students, please? Is it clear? All of you? Good, thank you. Please take a snap of this. We are solving this question today for the differential uneven cash flows. keeping it open. I'm zooming it further. If you want to, please take a snap of it. A humble request. Okay, let's start reading the question without wasting much of time. CA Reena Malhotra from Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein is a financial analyst in India, and she has proposed following two alternatives for her sympathizers. For investments, one was to Mr. Rajiv from America, another one to Mr. Mehdi from Mumbai. So there were two investment proposals made by her. One is to Rajiv, another one is to Mehdi. Now, in the first investment proposal, Mr. Rajiv will receive the following money, So 50,000 rupees would be received by him in the first year, second year, third and Mr. Rajiv will be getting 50,000. Mr. Mehdi will get 30,000 first, then 40, then 50, then 60, and then 70. Sir, how did you come to know that they are going to receive it? It's given to us in this question. Mr. Rajiv will receive the money at the end of the year, while Mr. Mehdi will receive the money at the beginning of the year. The required rate of return is 15% in both the cases. So obviously they will have to invest some amount of money so that they get the 15% return out of it, and they get this much of the amount from their investment. What amount they both will have to invest to receive this cash flows? Now the first one is the annuity part, because see, 50,000 you receive, then you can use the formula of the annuity straight away. But you can also use the differential cash flow formula, which is very easy to understand. We'll see that. And we are supposed to see that if they are getting this much of money in all this number of years, then how much of money they will have to invest now to get it. So we want to find the present value, and we will be finding the present value of each and every amount, and we will be doing the total of this. So that would be the total amount of investment right now. So let's go to the first one. This is how you'll be preparing it. The table, first one is the serial number, then you have got the cash flow. Then whenever, my friend, you are supposed to find the present value, you use the discounting factor. When you find the future value, you use the compounding factor. You multiply the discounting factor with the cash flow, you get the present value. So serial number would be the number of years 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll be taking first for Mr. Rajiv. Cash flows are how much? You may start writing 50, 50, 50. Even if it is an annuity, you may use this table. This table is applicable to every cash flows, Now, Mr. Rajiv will receive the money at the end of the year. So 50,000 rupees would be received at the end of the year. So the discounting of the first year will also take place, right? So how the discounting factor are calculated? You will be just applying the formula of the single cash flow, So when we were finding the PV of single cash flow, we were using this formula, if you can recall it, FV divided by 1 plus R raised to N. So I can also write it like FV multiplied by 1 divided by 1 plus R raised to N. So I'll be treating each and every cash flow as a single cash flow. For the first one, the N would be 1. For the second one, the N would be 2. Rest everything would remain same in the formula. For the third one, the N would be 3. For the fourth one, N would be 4. And for the fifth year, the N would be 5. So this is how we will be doing it. So what I'm doing is 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n. So r is 15 percentage, compounding is also 15 is on an annual basis. So 1 divided by 1 plus r means 1.15, 15 percentage is the rate of return. Now it's very easy to do. Do 1 divided by 1.15, so you get the discounting factor for the first year. What do you get? Can someone tell me by unmuting yourself? 0.1 divided by 1.115. That will be multiplying with the cash flow, with the future value. So we get the present value, as simple as that. What do we get for the first one? Please unmute yourself.
0.8695.
0.8695. Now you will not be doing it again. You will just press equal to. Press equal to in your calculator. You straight away get the discounting factor for the second year. What do you get, Ms. Urja? 1 divided by 1.15, press equal to, you get for the first one. Press equal to again. So you get for the second one.
0.7561.
7561. Press equal to again.
0.6575.
6575. Very good. Equal to again on the same amount.
0.5717.
Very good. 5717. And the last one?
0.4971.
4971. Very good. So now you will be just multiplying the discounting factors with the cash flow. So you get the present value. For the first one, what do you get? Can someone tell me?
$43,478.26.
43478.26. Very good. For the next one,
37807.18.
very good. Next one,
32875.
32875 point something.
No, sir.
Next one, please. Fine, no worries. Next one,
28587.66.
28587.66. Very good. Next one,
24855.
24855. So my friend, you do the total of this 5 PVs. That is the total amount.
Excuse me, sir.
Which Mr. Yes.
Sir, for 5717, the answer we got is 28585.
28585 you are getting.
Yes, sir.
Sir, me too.
Okay.
Sir, I have taken all the
Okay.
digits after point.
I'm considering only 4.
Sir, all the answers
Okay,
are
fine.
round
So
figures. There is no point in all the figures.
Yes, sir.
okay, fine, no worries. See, देखो छोटे छोटे बड़े बड़े सम्स में छोटे छोटे अप्रोक्सीमेशन होते रहते हैं. तो ये 2-5 रुपए, 15 रुपए, 20 रुपए, ये कोई टेंशन लेने की बात नहीं है. ठीक है, डोंट वरी. That will not be changing our entire answers from the interpretation point of view. So just do the total of it. 2-5 rupees, 6 rupees approximation error is perfectly okay. What's the total of this? May I get the total, please? Woman gender is dominating my class. हमारे भाई किधर है सब? बोलने में ही सब आगे होते हैं. 167,595 is the total we have got. Good. That's received from Harsh. Thank you, Harsh. 167,595 is the total amount of investment which Mr. Rajiv will have to do right now. Now, my friends, if you would have used the formula of annuity, then also you would have got the same answer. You may cross verify that after doing it. That would be done by you at your end. So Mr. Rajiv will receive the money at the end of the year, right? So it would be ordinary annuity. Present value of ordinary annuity formula can be used to solve the same question, and 50,000 would be taken as the installment amount. Now we'll be going to the second one, which is Mr. Mehdi. So cash flow would be how much? First one would be my serial number. Then cash flow, I know the answers, I create the questions, I know the interpretations as well, still doing it. Then discounting factor. Some people will like, sir, हमें आलस आती है. तो मेरी तो सोचो, मैं तो हर बार यही करवाता हूँ लोगों को, और यही करना है पूरे दिन. PV 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know some people are still staring at the screen. They would be like, nahi karna hai. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. Now we are forced to use the single cash flow mechanism like this. Here the annuity is not possible. Installment amount is getting changed in every year. So discounting factor will be slightly different. Please read the question well. The second line after the table gets over. Mr. Mehdi will receive the money at the beginning of the year. Now, if Mr. Mehdi is getting at the beginning of the year itself, then for the first year, say the year is just started and he gets the money. So it's the present value only, right? If you receive the money at the beginning of the year, my friend, it's the present value only. So whatever the future value you have, it's the present value, because right now you want to know the present value, and right now at the beginning of the year itself you are investing it. So discounting factor would be taken as 1 in that case. There will be no interest at the beginning of the year for the first period. Yet you do not get the interest for the first period if you are investing at the beginning. Let's talk it from the present value point of view. You invest something and you get straight away something. You don't get the interest on it. So when this cash flows are occurring at the beginning, then the discounting factor will start with 1. And then you may take the same discounting factors we had taken. For the second year, it would be N1. For the third year, it would be N2. For the fourth year, it would be N3. So I'm taking the first discounting factor over there in the second year, 0.8695. 8695. For the third one, we would get 0.7561. Some people would be doing it again and again. Oh मेरे भाई, हमने किया हुआ पहले, सीधा कॉपी करो, फिर से करने की जरूरत नहीं है. 7561. Then for the fourth one, we have 0.6575. And then we have got for the fifth one 0.5717. While finding the present value, please put it in the back of your mind. When the cash flows are occurring at the beginning of the period itself, then the discounting factor will start with 1. If the cash flows are occurring at the end of the period, then the discounting factor will start with 1 divided by 1 plus RS2N, whatever the case it would be. I hope that's absolutely crystal clear. So first one, I get the PV 30,000. Second one, what do I get? Can someone tell me, please?
34780.
34780. Very good. Next one.
37805.
37805. Next one.
39450.
39450. And the last one.
40019.
40019. Very good. So do the total of this. So how much Mr. Mehdi will have to invest now?
182,054.
182,054. Now try to understand. See the total amount which they are going to receive, 50, 50, 50, 50. So it's, I guess, 250, right? And here in the second one as well, Mr. Mehdi, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So I guess that total is also 250. So one will have to invest 167.55 to get 250, and another fellow will have to invest 180.54 to get 250 in total. So now you should be aware that how the time value of money is applicable when it comes to order of cash flows. For a layman, it's very easy, like 250 you are getting over there, 250 you are getting over there. So both the alternatives are equal, but you will not be saying that. You know that order matters when it comes to time value of money. To get the 50 lakhs rupees, one will have to invest 182,054, another one will have to invest 167,595. So who is at the benefit? Obviously, can someone tell me? Mr. Rajiv or Mehdi? Who has got the better deal from Reena? Rajiv or Mehdi? Very true. Mr. Rajiv has got the better deal. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. I'm really sorry it got disconnected again. So the conclusion from that question is that Mr. Rajiv has got the better deal and Mr. Mehdi will have to put more efforts to get 2,50,000 rupees, and that's what happened in the movie as well. So that's it from my side. Bye bye. Take care. Please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. See you all in the next session with a few more things related to the second module. Here comes the end of the time value of money. Bye bye. Take care. Sayonara. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much. Please put your enrollment number and then you may disperse. Take care.